So first thing I want to ask you all is how many of you in the last week have watched a financial news video or podcast? If you have done that, click that button on your card, look for it on your card, and find it somewhere. On mine, it's in the top left corner, but on yours, it'll be somewhere different. And if you've watched a financial video or podcast, click that. And how many of you have done that? Why is that important? Well, because remember, learning is something that should be done on a consistent subconscious basis. Your subconscious mind shapes your culture. Your culture is where you do most of your learning. It's not at school. You're learning when you watch, when you turn on TV, when you turn on the radio, when you're having conversations, the environment you grow up in. So watching those financial podcasts and or financial shows, it really incorporates finances into your daily routine, and your life becomes a culmination of things you do every day. So my best recommendation for anybody who wants to get good at finances and good at money and knowing where the money is to repeat it. Just sort of get repeatedly put yourself in spaces where the financial conversations are happening, and then one day it'll just happen and you won't even be thinking about it. All right. So next one is how many of you have set up your brokerage account? Click the button if you have a brokerage account right now. If you don't have a brokerage account, then that's okay. But if you don't have one yet, I need you to get one. I need you to get started. I need you to stop learning, stop just thinking about it. I need you to do something. We got to do something, okay? And so the first clue was, did you watch a financial news video or podcast? The second one is, have you set up a brokerage account? All right. And that just matters because everybody should have a brokerage account. You can get brokerage accounts for your kids too. You can get these custodial accounts where you control the account on behalf of the child, or they have an account and you can view and peep in and see what's going on with it. I personally don't think you necessarily have to even really tell the kid that they have a full account that's in their name or that's on their behalf, maybe in their name, but what I mean is that investing for your kids doesn't have to be something that they're involved with until they're fully ready to process and understand the importance of what's going on, right? And so part of being prepared for the economic realities of the world is having someone that's conscious for you when you're unconscious. Like I compare it to when I went and I had to get put under for surgery and I was unconscious. But while I was unconscious, my wife was very conscious. My wife was looking out for me and making sure that they were taking good care of me so I could be unconscious and be safe. And when I woke up and I became conscious, it wasn't like, oh my God, what happened to me? Where am I? Who did this to me? No, my wife could be like, oh, this is what happened. They put you under, and then this happened, and that happened, and that happened. You understand? So when the child is financially unconscious, which is pretty much up until about the age of 20, and then they suddenly wake up and they're like, oh my God, I got to pay bills. Oh my God, I got to, I saw the video, I think I showed you all about the poor girl who was just crying about how hard it is to pay bills and how hard it is to be a grown up and how she literally said, I want to go back to being a kid. She was crying online and saying, I want to be a kid again because when you're a kid, you're not conscious of any of these things, nor should you really have to be, right? So, but while you're unconscious, somebody should be conscious on your behalf. So that brokerage account for yourself and your kids is really important. All right. The next one is, have you learned how dividends work? Well, we talked about that this morning in Money in the Morning. Most of you who were there have some idea of how dividends work. Yeah, dividend paying companies tend to be companies that have bigger cash flow levels and they have fewer growth opportunities. Companies pay dividends because they don't really have anywhere to invest the money. The job of the CEO and the board is to take the cash flow and do what's best with the cash flow. That's one of the most important rules of finance, which is that capital should be put to its most efficient use. So if you have great investments that you could do with that money, they shouldn't be holding on to that money. Because then what happens is it creates something that's studied very deeply in academics, which is called the free cash flow problem.